Should you still travel or should you cancel all your travel plans due to the coronavirus? As of yesterday, I honestly would have said travel and go for it, as long as you're not scared, as long as you're not afraid, as long as you're not traveling to one of the major cities, outbreak centers where it's like really bad right now, go for it. But as Trump just announced the 30-day travel ban to the US, things might change a little bit. Hi lovebug, I'm Vivi. Welcome to Adventurously Alive. My channel is all about guiding you to a more adventurous life that you're fully and truly in love with. And if this is the kind of life that you want to live for yourself, then consider subscribing. So if you really have to go back to the US, or you're in a country that is affected with a travel ban, try to go back as quickly as possible. Otherwise, try to be smart and go to a neighboring country and try to cross overland, if that is still possible. I know some countries allow you to have 2 passports if you travel a lot, or for whatever reason you have 2 passports. If you're just coming from Europe or from Asia, make sure you make use of them and you don't actually show them that you just been in one of the affected areas. As of people freaking out with the pandemic, oh my god. Yes, you are allowed to freak out. Yes, you are allowed to be scared. Yes, you are allowed to be worried. But watching the news the whole time, following what's going on closely, will just make you feed into the scarcity mind. It will just help you be more afraid and more scared. And literally, I've spent like 20 minutes yesterday evening reading about the travel ban, reading about the coronavirus, and I started getting scared. I'm like, oh my god, maybe they're right. Maybe we really shouldn't travel. Maybe we really should stay at home. But the question is, what is true and what isn't? And there's so many facts and so many things out there that we really aren't sure anymore what's fact, what is real, what is made up, and what is in between. So instead of watching the news and saying, oh my god, the world is gonna end, it's so bad, literally, people that have died from coronavirus that are infected, which by the way is a really low number, is 3%. So what are the chances? And if you were lucky enough to have one of these hand sanitizers here, I know they got really rare and are more treated like gold these days, but if you have one, make use of them. Wash your hands frequently. Make sure you drink a lot of water. Make sure you stay hydrated. Make sure you disinfect your hands, or you wash your hands when you're in a public area. And just try to protect yourself, but don't over dramatize it. And if you're one of these people who've been looking for hand sanitizers and you really can't find any, we're selling a bottle $50. Just message me, shipping included. No, jokes aside, you can actually make them yourself. Get some alcohol, not vodka, not the one that you probably have in the house to drink, but the one that is for medical uses, the like pure alcohol, 70%, 80%, 90%, whatever you can find, and some aloe vera gel. If you can find some pure aloe vera gel, perfect. You know, the one that you use after sun tanning, that's like good for your skin. Mix them together. This will help you sanitize your hand. This one actually made it ourselves. And you know, it works perfectly fine. It's not 100% the same as the ones that you buy, because they have more ingredients to like make your hands stay hydrated, as the alcohol will actually dry your hands quite a bit. But seriously, if you're worried and you cannot find a hand sanitizer, make them yourself. Use alcohol and just moisturize your hands and you'll be fine. As of traveling, I just came back from a New York City trip, and I'm not afraid. I am not scared. I don't think that we should over dramatize this whole thing. I totally understand if you're scared. I see it in stores, I see it everywhere. The disinfection wipes are sold out in pretty much all the stores in Canada and in the US, and it's pretty crazy. But should we stop living our life now? Should we start feeding into the scarcity mindset and just watch the news closely and wait for the catastrophe to like explode and become even worse? Honestly, I believe that we should still live our best life. do the best we can every single day. Yes, protect yourself. Yes, wash your hands. Yes, be cautious. Do what you can. But do we have to compromise our quality of life if we're not living in a very effective area, if we're not under like a travel ban or like restricted area? We can still create memories, we can still live our best life. And even if you're in one of these areas that are under quarantine or whatever, can you still create a memory? Can you still do something beautiful that you will remember 20 years from now, 50 years from now? Or do we really have to live these months? I mean, this coronavirus started about 2.5 months ago now. Can we still enjoy our life? Can we still do something beautiful? Can we still feed into what if I'm not affected? And I'm not saying there's some weird theory behind it. I know you can read a lot of crazy shit going on, that like how you can cure the coronavirus using cocaine and bleach. And honestly, if I were a drug seller, I would totally tell people that buy my cocaine, get some bleach, and you'll be cured, because it will make me more money. It just makes sense. When people are scared, they believe in crazy shit. But also, I feel that the coronavirus is just another thing that we're so scared, and that is actually really useful for the government to keep us in very low vibrations, to keep us in the scarcity mindset. Because in these stages of life, of a virus, of a pandemic, we are not into growing our best life, into building something. And I know for a fact that a lot of people in the travel industry are affected very, very badly. They're not making a lot of money these days. A lot of companies are not selling their products. A lot of online people are having problems because people are shifting their focus. But what happens if you drive, let's say, a motorbike? I'm not sure if you've ever been on a motorbike, but if there's an object that you really don't want to hit, and you focus on it, and you focus on it, and you focus on it, and you're like, I don't want to hit it, I don't want to hit it. What happens? Boom, you hit it. So instead of really focusing on the virus, on how bad it is, how terrible it is, how much it's spreading, can we shift our focus on where our opportunities are, on where it's getting better, on what we obviously can do to prevent us from getting it and from spreading it by washing our hands, sneezing in our elbows, using our hand sanitizers and stuff, but still living our best life and not really feeding into the scarcity all the time. First of all, it is not helping us cure the virus by following the news closely and by spreading scarcity things and by worrying a lot about it. If it's not helping, if it's not preventing other people from getting the virus, if it's not doing anything good, then why should we feed into it? So if you're not scared and it's still possible for you to travel and you have travel planned, go travel, go live your best life. If you feel it's better for you to cancel your trip, you know, nobody's shaming you on canceling your trip. But think about the kind of life that you want to be living, the kind of memories that you want to create for yourself, and the state of mind that you want to be living in. Do you want to live in fear? Do you want to be limiting yourself? If yes, then that's totally okay. If you say it is worth it for me because I'm so scared and I wouldn't enjoy myself wherever you plan to travel, then of course stay home. But if you're like, no, actually, I don't think I'm getting affected. I don't think I am the kind of person who would spread the virus because, you know, even if I get it, I actually sanitize my hand, I actually wash my hands, I'm actually careful, I'm not coughing in people's faces, and I'm not indulging into like the scarcity of it. Go out there, live your best life, but obviously there are people who are stuck on Silk Road that are with their caravan. They're trying to get from one country, they're told to leave and they're not allowed to enter the next country, and it's all a big problem. But if you still feel comfortable traveling, go for it. I'm not gonna stop traveling as long as nobody bans me from traveling. We're still planning on going to Colombia in less than a month, unless they're gonna put us in a 2-week quarantine, because then it makes no sense. I'm only gonna be there for a few days and if I have to spend 2 weeks in a quarantine, it just doesn't make sense, right? And on top of that, I'm sure there are going to be horror stories about quarantine and how people are treated and, you know, all this weird stuff. So do we have to put ourselves knowingly into these positions and experiences? No. If this is a kind of experience that you want to experience and you're like, actually, you know what, that is my like once in a lifetime chance of experiencing this, of creating a story, of learning new things, of learning more about myself, how I react under pressure, under weird circumstances, go for it. You know, nobody is stopping you from doing that. But also nobody's stopping you from living your best life. Apart from government travel bans and weird stuff, you can still enjoy your life as much as possible. If you feel this video about travel bans and the coronavirus, and if you should still be traveling, could be beneficial to anyone, please consider sharing it and consider subscribing to my channel if you want to live your best life as well, no matter what. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you in my next video.